guys, Sunflower Fox here. I decided to become a storytime channel because I have some good stories. If you have a story, leave it in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe because we need this video to get to the stars and beyond. Okay, so let's get started. One day, I was minding my own business and I was about to wash the dishes. And then I heard a knock on my door. This knock on my door, I immediately knew who it was because there was this girl going around town knocking on people's doors and then trying to get into their houses. Obviously me, I was in the middle of with the sink on trying to wash the dishes. And usually you're just supposed to be quiet, but since my house is so small, people can hear me. I was home alone at the time. So I start yelling at the door. I start saying, "You can't come into my house," and this stuff, and I say my mom's almost home, which I didn't know that, but it was true. So my mom, I told her I sweared at her because I'm a bad girl, and I was like, she obviously was yelling back, and I told her she's not my friend because she thought I was her friend for some reason, and she was cussing at me, and I was like, I told her not to tell my mom this, but it wasn't like anything bad that I did. It was just like, I forget what I told her not to tell her, but I was like, don't tell my mom that I have friends or something. I don't know, it was something like that. So she ran up to my mom because she was coming upstairs to the apartment building, and she was like, oh, she has friends. Obviously I'm not using my real name, so like Sunflower, Head Friends, whatever. And I was just like, yeah, I do have friends. And so she leaves. She leaves, or so I thought she left. You know, she just wasn't at my house anymore, if you know what I mean. So she went downstairs. I thought she was gone. And then I hear some yelling outside. Guess who it is? Psycho Girl. Psycho Girl is terrorizing some kids outside, and I'm just like, alright. And for some reason, my mom starts getting all mad at me like I did something, and she tells me to go outside. So, I do because I'm not scared to get into a fight. And when I got outside, one of the peoples that were outside told me that she was breaking a windshield, someone's glasses, and a phone. And my reaction was like, what are you talking about? Cause she's the typical girl to do that. Cause she's Psycho Girl, and everyone in the neighborhood knows her like that. The people outside, she slammed the door. I came outside with my phone recording. I might show the video, I don't know. But I came outside with my phone recording it. I didn't really get any fights on camera, unfortunately. But I did get her on camera and yelling. So, I mean, I'd say that's pretty much a win. And I recorded her not really doing anything. Once I stop recording, though, everyone tries to get into a car because she's trying to attack people, right? So we try to get into a car, and she slams the car door on one of the little fourth graders' legs. Or she might be in fifth grade, I'm not sure. But this was in October, so yeah. So she slammed the door on the fourth grader's leg, like any normal human being would. And I was just like, why would you do that? She's younger than you. The girl, the psycho girl, was 12, so in middle school. Or like 13, I forget, but like, whatever, middle schooler. Like 7th or 8th grader. And I was just like, why? So, someone calls the cops. Logical thing to do. And, I went back inside because one of the other people's parents told me to. And, of course, I'm like the girl that isn't afraid to fight because, like, I grew up fighting a lot with this person and a bunch of other people. But yeah, I did go inside because someone told me to. I was watching through the window after that. From what I saw, the cops came and she attacked one of the officers. The officer called her grandparents or grandpa or whatever, and her grandpa came with a red car and picked her up from my house or my apartment or whatever you call it. I was just like, well, good thing she's gone. But she was still like, well, before that, she tried to escape the car, like, because every single time the car door shut, she would open it again. So it took a good 5 minutes to get up the hill and, hold on, and, get her to her house. Now, of course, I couldn't see, like, past my house, so I don't know what she was doing on the way there. But I do know that she should have been in a juvenile prison or to the mental hospital, because she literally did a lot of things that would be considered crimes, like breaking people's belongings, hurting children, trying to break into houses, you know, typical 13-year-old stuff, right? Actually, no, it wasn't in October, it was in September, but that's not important information. So she's home. I go back outside. My mom doesn't really care about the situation. Typical, if you know what I mean. My mom was like, it's your fault and whatever. Like, I decided to do that. She's the one who tried to break into our house. Like, what? Like, that makes no sense because I don't know, it makes no sense, but that wasn't even the first time she tried. It's just the worst time. And the last time. Because me and the parents were talking outside. And apparently, according to other people, she's not allowed by her house anymore. And I'm pretty sure she has like a restraining order from like half the people in their neighborhood. I don't know about me because I didn't get any info on it. But she's the reason why, or I'm the reason why she tried to attack all those little kids. So, like, she should have one on me. I mean, I still avoid her whenever I'm, like, going places, like, avoid her house and stuff, because I know I'm gonna get into beef if I go near it. So, basically, don't make friends with psychopaths, because she used to be my friend. I could get into that a little bit more if you're interested. This video is gonna be 20 minutes, so I have to put more stuff into it so that I can get into that. So I was friends with her back in 3rd grade to like 6th, because 6th is when the pandemic thingy hit. Whatever, I didn't really care. But she always tried to attack me when we were friends. I don't really remember my early childhood, but I do know that she was my only friend, but she wasn't a good friend. Because she attacked my other friends. She attacked me. Well, like my other friends, if you know what I mean. People I talked to. Well, I had one other friend, but I also had a crush on him, so there's that. And he also bullied me and attacked me, too, so. Yeah. So, I mean, nowadays I'm into nerds. Yeah. I mean, I remember it was like typical friend stuff, but instead of like it being like a good friendship, it was kind of like we were both toxic to each other and like bad people. I mean, with the psycho girl, of course. That's what this video is about. But, you know, she is like a bi or something, or like a lesbian, and I'm straight. And I remember a couple times where she tried to date me. So, I was just like at the time, I didn't know how to be like, hey, I'm straight, leave me alone. But, I still was just like, it was making me really uncomfortable. Like, I remember one time she came up to me on the street in the middle of nowhere. She tried to break into my house again, but it was like a different time before that time, in like August or September. She was like at my door, I think it was like in August. And she was like, she came up, she knocked on my door and she asked me, she tried to come into my house and I was like, let's go outside and talk about this. And she was just like, actually, no, this wasn't in August or September, this was way back then. This was like March or, no. This was January of last year. Sorry, I'm way left out on the time right now. But she got me outside and I was like, Okay. And she tried to give me a ring that was covered in rust and smelled like dog pee. And I was just like, okay. And she asked me if I wanted to marry her and lied to me about having cancer and said she wants to marry me before she dies. And I was just like, okay. It was very obvious that she was lying about having cancer because she had her hair cut, like just a little bit. And she was like, oh, my hair's short because it's cancer. And I was just like, you go bald when you have cancer. It's not short hair. So she came up to me with a ring. And I didn't know how to act because I was trying to date someone at the time. Never got to date him. I'm glad I didn't because honestly now I hate him. But I was just like, oh, and I lied about having a boyfriend, and I was just like, oh, this guy's my boyfriend. This is my boyfriend. I can't date you. And she was still trying to force herself on me. So I was just like, okay. And I kept telling her that this guy's my boyfriend, and guess what? She finally got it through her head, but guess what she tried to do? She tried to tell him that he was my boyfriend. He's not my boyfriend. He never was. I never dated him. This was like January of last year. So, back in the 7th through 8th grade crush, basically. I'm in 9th grade now. So, I was just like, yep, he's my boyfriend. But now, I would never date him in a million years. But that's just the way it is. I found a better guy that was like 50 times better, and he still doesn't date me, and I tried to make him date me. But I just realized how crappy the other guy was, and I was just like, yep, I'm never gonna date that guy. So yeah, I was just like, so she gave me the ring, and she forced it into my hand. And I brought it into my house, literally smelled like lead poisoning. I wouldn't be surprised if that was what it was made out of. So yeah. Then she tried to tell this guy that I was dating him, because she got into contact with this guy's mother, right? And she almost texted him and been like, the girlfriend, even though I'm literally not his girlfriend, never was, never will be. So, story of my life. Life lessons to learn from the story. Don't be friends with psychopaths. Don't be friends with people who lie about having things, because she also lied about being a werewolf. That was like a whole thing about her being a 3,000-year-old werewolf. I might be able to get into that later. But yeah, don't talk to psychopaths or sociopaths at that point. Don't even just tell people that you're straight before they try to marry you. Or tell people that you're gay before getting into a straight relationship with someone. Don't let people into your house. Don't go outside whenever there's psychopaths outside. And don't date weirdos. So, yeah. Anyway, Peace out. Like, subscribe. Sunflower Fox out.